everyone. We're back with Ken Dombrowski, executive life coach and master hypnotist. And today I want to talk about client success stories. We see clients for a lot of different reasons, and I was wondering if you could share maybe one or two with us today.
Well, yeah, we definitely, we've seen thousands of people, and we have lots and lots of success stories. So that's a tall order to come up with just like one or two. Maybe one that I can think of right away off the top of my head. Of course, I'd always keep it anonymous and never share a name or too much specific detail, so we wouldn't give away a person. But we had a young man, and about 30 years old, earlier this year, come to us, and he had severe depression and anxiety, loaded with fears, and just felt, we hear this word a lot. He felt stuck. And that's a very common feeling. When you have depression and fears and anxiety, they really do. They hold you back. You don't have confidence. You don't feel like putting yourself out there. Well, this young man, he had gone several years, I think upwards of like maybe 5 years of not having a job, not having a girlfriend, not really leaving his. I think it was his grandmother. He was living with his grandmother, not leaving her basement for much at all. He even reported that in his family who brought him to us, that he wouldn't even come out of the basement when there was a family gathering at the house, at his grandmother's house. So he would just stay down there, and he'd say he could hear everybody talking and laughing and shuffling about, but he could not bring himself to just climb those stairs and say hi to his own family. Well, this gentleman, really great guy, good, solid guy. He and this, I know sounds a little embarrassing, but it's really cathartic. He literally cried through his first three sessions. From the moment he sat down, walked in the door and sat down in the session, through the whole session, cried for three sessions straight. And then the fourth session, and I'm trying to guess and remember here. I think he would probably cried for the first 10 or 15 minutes, and then the tears dried up, and we were able to keep on working. But even when he was crying, there was a purpose to it. There was meaning. He was growing. He was letting stuff go, and the pain of things leaving was probably what he was crying from, more than anything, and realizing how much of his life he's been wasting. So fast forward, get down. He probably did about I'm gonna guess about 16 sessions or so, and he was a completely different person. And I remember asking him. Um, this was pretty funny. It's one of those that kind of stands out in your mind. I remember asking him towards like maybe his 15th or 16th session. I said, well, what happened to that guy that I met, like 4 months ago? What happened to him? The guy that was so down and sad and depressed and anxiety and couldn't leave his basement, his grandmother's basement. What happened to him? He said, I pushed him down the fucking stairs. And he laughed when he said that, and I laughed, of course. And hearing that how he perceived his life changing, and was able to laugh about it. And since then, we've gotten reports from him. He's got a girlfriend. He's bought a car. He had got one job, liked it. He did good at it, but then after just a few months, he got a better job. And now he's moved out of his grandmother's house. He's got his own apartment, and he's really a happy guy with it. Pretty much everything you could want at his age and more.
And he only finished his sessions like 3, 4 months ago too. He hasn't been gone that long, right?
It has not. He really championed the program. He really made those turnarounds, and it's because you have to have one thing. One thing is incredibly critical. You have to really want to change.
The desire, yeah.
You have to want. You have to know that you've got a problem. Now, sadly, we have other people who come in our office and they're expecting me to fix them, and it doesn't work that way. I do not have a magic potion or a magic wand or a magic pill or anything, and you're just going to be fixed simply because you showed up. No, you have to show up. You have to be willing to participate, willing to face your biggest and deepest fears and confront them, and then laugh at them. And this is exactly what he did. He was a master at it. Yeah.
And I remember having the conversation about him after the fact, and I even told you there's a difference between him and other people who come in because their parent gets involved. Yeah, his mom was there helping him make the calls and set up his appointments, but he was the one talking. he was the one in charge of getting here. He was the one making sure that everything was figured out. No one was calling on his behalf. He was doing it on his own behalf. And I found that to be extremely important, at least for his story specifically, because
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to people who have parents involved, it's very easy for the parent to kind of just take over and shove them or helicopter their way into it. But he took that initiative on his own.
Exactly, yes. So couldn't have said it better. When we get an adult person whose parent is bringing them, so it's going to be usually someone in their 20s, sometimes even into their 30s. They have a parent bringing them because the kid, as a kid, they just never grew up.
Right.
So they're still stuck in this adolescent teenage mindset of being inaccountable for their life. Well, so the parent makes the phone call. The parent, makes all the arrangements. The parent has to drive them to the session, even though it's a 25 or 30-year-old man or woman. They're still being coddled by their parent. And then sadly, what happens or can happen from time to time is the parent then relies on their child, their adult child, to get to their sessions on their own, and that's when it can fall apart. They're not there because they want to be there. They're there because their parent, chose this. So then they start showing up. It becomes very easy to see. They start showing up late. First, it's 5 minutes late for their session. The next session, they're 10 minutes late. Then the next session, they might be 15 or 20 minutes late. I've had people, I remember having one woman, this is the way this goes. I had one woman a few years ago. She was very heavy. She needed to lose literally 200 pounds. So she was only in her mid 20s, 25, 26 years old, 200 pounds overweight. And of course, her health is in jeopardy and all kinds of stuff. And so, but her parents were the ones who sought us out. Her parents were the ones who paid the bill. Her parents were the ones who made all the arrangements, and all she had to do was get there. Well, I remember her first session. She come in for the free consult. Everything went great. So they signed up. First official session, she walks in literally about 11 minutes late and says, I can't stay very long today because I'm meeting someone. So I only have about 30 minutes. Well, you're already, 10 minutes late, and now you want to leave early. So what can we get done in 15 or 20 minutes? So did what we could. I didn't pry. I didn't ask, well, do you have something critical like a doctor's appointment? Or I didn't ask. It's her personal business. So, okay, I accommodated her. The second session, she walked in almost 20 minutes late and said almost exactly again, I can't stay very long today because I'm meeting someone for lunch. So think about this. The exact reason why she's coming, which is to help with the obesity, the overeating, to help with all that kind of stuff, she's going to actually abandon early so she can go do that very thing.
Right.
Just like if it was a heroin addict saying, okay, I'm leaving Heroin Addicts Anonymous, I have to leave early because I'm going to go meet my dealer so I can shoot up. See how crazy that sounds? So the third session, I actually had to kind of yell at her. And you know what? She straightened up. She actually did, made a difference. She started coming on time, staying the full session, and she ended up losing weight. And of course, she did this program, lost a bunch of weight, not 200 pounds, but probably like almost 45 or 50 pounds, and kept on going on her journey on her own. And I checked in with her a couple of times over the years, and she had lost more weight that, what she's comfortable now. I'm not going to say she's skinny, but she's comfortable now. And that's what we're looking for. What kind of progress can we make? So even when we have someone who is reluctant, we do still have an opportunity to turn them around, but sadly, it doesn't work every time.
I mean, that makes sense though. It really is at the end of the day, do you want to participate or not? Like you can convince some people to participate, but it's not always going to happen, especially when it comes to the hypnosis side of things. We've said it before, we'll say it again. Hypnosis only works if you want to partake in it. Same thing with the life coaching sessions. It's like going to traditional therapy, even if you don't want to be there, nothing's going to get done. So that's really what it comes down to.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. I have to say it again and again. I am not here to do this to you or for you. I'm doing it with you. I'm just taking you on a guided tour, and it's up to you to choose to get on that bus and go on that tour. And that makes all the difference in the world.